This is New York. This is also New York, more specifically the South Bronx. This obvious difference is the result of environmental injustice. Environmental injustice is the unfair treatment and lack of involvement of people on the basis of race, color, national origin, or income with respect to environmental policy. Low-income communities of color are intentionally chosen to host environmentally harmful facilities.
The air quality in the South Bronx is significantly worse than other regions in New York City. It is the home of some of the highest asthma rates in the city, but is still used to host numerous industrial facilities such as a Con Edison power plant, a distillery, and multiple storage warehouses, to name a few. And it is no coincidence that the poverty rate in the South Bronx is 43% compared to the rest of the city at about 21%.
About 112 out of every 10,000 children from the South Bronx are hospitalized due to asthma, while the New York City average is only 36 children. Compared to the New York City average of 249 per every 100,000 adults, Mount Haven has a rate of 749 adults hospitalized due to asthma. These issues will continue to get worse with the relocation of the food shipping company FreshDirect to the South Bronx. The company was paid over $100 million in subsidies to move its headquarters and truck fleet to the Bronx.
The move, officially supported by Borough President Diaz and Mayor de Blasio, is opposed by residents of the South Bronx who understand it will only negatively impact their lives. Organizations such as South Bronx Unite and Friends of Brook Park are rigidly against the relocation and have continued to protest it by starting petitions, attending hearings, and organizing community events.
South Bronx Unite, the community coalition that is working for environmental and economic justice on our waterfront and in the larger community. Everyone's in a bit of a bind because they have marginalized our waterfront in our neighborhood for so many years. Again, with the power plants, you're going to see 4 of them today in one neighborhood, with waste management garbage that handles 35% of the entire city's waste in one neighborhood.
I think that more attention needs to be brought to this matter. I feel that the community needs to be more informed because a lot of times people live their daily lives not really recognizing all of the things that happen around them that could be possibly making them sick or making their children sick. So I think programs and what the initiative of South Bronx Unite has been doing throughout the Bronx to make awareness, just to bring light to all of the things that are happening here, the gentrification of the neighborhood and how that also affected adversely health-wise is a good thing.
We're out here to shed light to the environmental justice issues that affect our community here in Mount Haven, Fort Morris neighborhood of South Bronx. We're going to be touring a couple different sites to bring light to some of what we feel is environmental injustice areas that have been part of the negative health effects that are plaguing our community. We have asthma hospitalization rates 8 times the national average, and now we have 1 in 4 of our children here have asthma. And so we're going to take this bike ride like we do every year and show why that situation exists and hopefully change that by creating green space and recreational opportunities for people in this community. Because even though we're surrounded by a peninsula of water, we have no access to it. And so we're trying to make sure we can shed light and plant the seeds of change for our community so we can live healthier, longer lives.
South Bronx Unite proposes a waterfront plan to utilize the waterfront as a public space rather than as the headquarters of a corporation that will disadvantage the residents of the South Bronx. They do not only work to improve the environment, but also the quality of life of those living in the South Bronx. South Bronx Unite exemplifies the environmental justice movement as a whole, since their goal is to have the entire community involved in environmental decision making.
These are the efforts made by your community, and you can offer support. South Bronx Unite is petitioning FreshDirect, which can be found at this link, and every signature counts. Boycotting FreshDirect by not using their services is a small step that can make a huge difference.